Celebrations of Flag Day are far from over in central New York. The Pompey Historical Society in Manlius will host a program this evening tracing the history of the American flag. The three incidents from this weekend come almost 5 months since Brexley, who was 11 at the time of her death, was killed by a group of men that included 2 teenagers. Banks will be honored this Thursday after passing in July. She received multiple degrees in her attendance at Syracuse University and then returned to Syracuse after serving other colleges. The event will take place at Hendricks Chapel this Friday at 5. 210 Teas is the only Black-owned tea business downtown. Owner Cassia Hills started her journey during the pandemic. This company is very meaningful, and her grandmother is the inspiration behind it. Hills decided to start selling loose-leaf teas because it was unique and wasn't common in Syracuse. When it comes to entrepreneurship, she understands the importance of how shining a light on minority-owned businesses can make an impact.
I think it's great to uplift and support and propel these types of businesses specifically because we don't necessarily always have the opportunities or the resources to propel ourselves.
Very few minority-owned businesses exist in the city of Syracuse. Earlier this month, Governor Kathy Hochul signed 3 bills to boost women and minority enterprises.
In the state of New York, there are quite a few of minorities, and quite a few of them, they've gotten the impression that they can't do more. And the fact that they see another woman of color doing something that someone may have told them that they could never do, seeing that is very powerful.
Hills believes that boosting women and even minority businesses in New York State is vital for setting an example for enterprises. A huge highlight for her is being the only Black-owned tea business in the area, and she hopes that more minority-owned tea shops come to the city. In Syracuse, Jailah Pettis, NCC News.
For the patrol and gold one for the detectives. So these people,
the Syracuse Police Department offers public safety orientation for refugees to understand the laws and order of the United States. Orientation teaches refugees when to call 911, the Syracuse Police, and the Fire Department, but also knowing the difference between a police officer and a detective. Detective Janan Selimovic has been in the same shoes as the attendees.
Now, since being a police officer and being a former refugee, I know what refugees need to make their life successful in the United States. And a lot of these are legal issues and fear of the police.
There are currently 18 police officers who were once refugees and then transitioned into law enforcement. It's important to have a diverse group of officers because many refugees don't speak English.
Every day that we are dealing with people outside, we're dealing with diverse community, diverse culture, diverse language. So we have to have a diverse community in order to communicate with the community outside.
These classes have been put together to make participants comfortable calling 911. Detective Selimovic's mission is for refugees to understand that there's hope for them to have success and live a sustainable life in America. Orientation classes are offered on demand, and the next one will be held November 5th. In Syracuse, Jailah Pettis, NCC News. Chairs were put into place, 6 Valentine-shaped cookies laid out, and sprinkles were set for decor. Crave Dessert Studio hosted their first cookie decorating class on February 10th at South City Market, and all for customers like Zach Robbins.
And this was a really cool experience to be able to do it with, a lot of other people who haven't taken classes.
This class was the first one offered since 2020, and despite facing challenges, Black women are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs in the U.S.
There's definitely been like a surge of just people wanting to kind of bet on themselves and start their own businesses, especially with Black women.
Carmen wanted to create a decorating event as a way for her to interact with customers beyond selling them cookies.
You look very focused.
Students followed along as Carmen demonstrated step by step for each design. Crave Dessert Studio has a very special meaning.
This means a lot to be able to kind of sustain and grow and continue to evolve, even as time changes. So,
Final touches were added to the strawberries,
so cute.
and participants packed their treats to take home. Robbins enjoyed taking his first decorating class with his fiancée for Valentine's Day.
I thought it was a really cool opportunity to support kind of a local business, but also a really fun date night idea.
Classes will be offered each month moving forward. In Syracuse, Jailah, Pettis, NCC News. These men are members of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, and they are strolling together with their brothers. Their fraternity is one of 9 Greek organizations founded for people of color, and now known as the Divine Nine.
You know, we used to do a thing in Omega, so hard to be Omega, you know. I mean, we don't, just walk into this, you know what I mean? There's a process of tests. I mean, just like when you take a course, you have final exams, and then, of course, you pass the test or you fail.
Retired college professor Roosevelt Wright says joining a fraternity made a difference in his life. It's a tradition that continues today. I am a Fall 19 initiate of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
I am a Fall 21 initiate of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated.
I am a Fall 21 initiate of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
But joining these organizations is a process. Rituals are sung and information is presented during new member presentations, also known as probates. D9 organizations date back to 1906 and notably 1908 when my organization, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, was founded on the campus of Howard University. Here in Syracuse, the National Panhellenic Council serves as a foundation for African American students.
We're like family. Like, of course you have the different organizations, but we all come together, and I feel like that's like most important, just coming together, especially with everything going down in Florida. It's important that we come together. It's important that we get out there and vote. But I'll say great unity.
Brotherhood, sisterhood, academia, and serving the community is what all of the organizations promote through the National Panhellenic Council. Greek organizations have given members a sense of belonging. The Divine Nine is very meaningful to the Black community and has impacted one member in more ways than one.
It has brought me out of my shell. It has helped with my strength, weaknesses, and it has also helped with networking and also just like stepping into like finding out who I really am.
Campuses host yard shows to bring the Greek community together. These organizations not only create camaraderie, but they provide role models.
So what I'm indicating is that basically all of my real role models and men who basically gave me an opportunity were men of the Omega Psi Phi fraternity.
Our founders' principles continue to live on through all of us. In Syracuse, Jailah, Pettis, NCC News. Pediatric cancer isn't talked about often, but one organization in Syracuse is raising awareness and funds for children affected. With help provided by the Food Bank of Central New York, this pantry can handle an increased number of clients who are in need of food. Grants make purchasing food items possible for not only the pantry, but clients who are in need of bundles. The motto of Sear Powell is planting seeds and creating a new mindset between the police and community. Behind me is Tippery Hill Community Center, where each of the March Madness events were held. This building is the reason why Oliver created the tournament.